All right. Hopefully this works. kind of nervous because I changed everything around, so. Oops. Can you guys hear and see? Still looks good. Cool. Hi Yuri, hi Dominic, hi Mikey. Hello guys. Can hear and see? Yay! That's good. That's a relief. I'll grab my big box of paint, so just a sec. Here, Pickle. Okay. Sorry. Hi Jen! Hi Lana! Hi guys! I've been playing the new Ni no Kuni mobile game. Oof, I didn't think I'd be doing an MMO. Oh really? Huh. Salut Tex! Est-ce qu'on peut faire pour toi? Oh ouais! Et tu vois? Oh, tu veux des amis? Tiens. Tiens. Salut mon baby. Ouais. C'est tellement cute. Oui, t'es vraiment cute. Non, non, non. Allô, Pico! T'es tellement cute! Tu perds tout ton poil. C'est summoner Otto? Let's summon Otto. Otto, Otto! Pico is here. Pico is here. Scout. Salut! Qu'est-ce que je peux faire pour toi? Hein? Tu veux-tu monter toi aussi? Qu'est-ce qui se passe? C'est quoi toutes les minettes là? Tiens, toutes les minettes. Non, non, faut pas que tu boives mon eau de peinture, c'est vraiment pas une bonne idée. Non, Scout. Non, Pico. Oh non! Je sais pas, c'est tannante. Tu veux-tu descendre? Ouais. Ouais. Gros câlin. Mmh. Il y a tellement de poils dans mon thé. Non, tu t'en vas pas par là. Allez, allez. C'est assez, là. C'est assez de merdage. Allez, hop. Yeah, it was a 2-for-1 special. Non, arrête de te gratter. The fluffs are multiplying. Yeah, and they left some fluffs too. They're shedding so much. Hein? Qu'est-ce que t'en penses, mademoiselle? Ouais. Peut-être. Thing is they can't stand each other, so that's why when Scout came on, Pico had to leave. Yeah, they sanctified the work area with hairs. So I should be good to paint and have organic matter in the paint everywhere. So how should I say it? I should say organic. No, feline organic matter. If you know what I'm referring to, you're on point. Eh? Feline organic matter? That's you? Ah, tu ne vois pas ma chaise. Non, non, pousse-toi. She wants my chair. She's not gonna get my chair. Non mais c'est ma chaise. Putain, t'es chiante. Ah ouais. Ah, viens-t'en. Eh, la pire. Mais qu'est-ce que t'attends? Bon, Colin de Bin. Okay, so today I want to try using this paint. It's one of the Turner Acrylic Gouache, but it's one of the Japanese colors, so they're the ones with the small fibers in them to give them texture. And I want to see how they work with everything else. I have no idea why they put so many stickers on it. I hate it. It's all like unyieldy and whatnot, and they're like, oh, may produce an allergic reaction. Yeah, as everything does. I mean, just get this off. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right. Yeah, the gouache has texture. Oh, that's so awesome, Yuri. Yay! Plus de gros tas de poils derrière moi. Oh wait, I can't see what I'm doing. Oh, oops. Yeah, I think with the new setup, the camera is a lot more wobbly. Oh, that's so cool, Yuri. Yay. Oh my gosh, it's really wobbly. Okay, I'll try to be careful. So, Mikey, what landed you in the ER this time? Is it still the same issue, like with eating, right? And what happened to your shoes? I'd love to turn Afka inside for the night. Oh, awesome! Say hi to her for us. It's the same thing with the eating and my lungs being very tight. Oh no. I guess someone stole my shoes. They were just Crocs. Ah, what a bummer thing to do. Hey, Otto! Otto, if you rewind earlier on the stream, you might be able to see Peko and Scott. Oh, I hate this setup is super wobbly. I'm so sorry, guys. I'll try to fix it for the next time. This is super annoying. I don't know how I can sort of make it less wobbly for now. I try to be very careful. I tried summoning you, Otto, when Pico was on, but I guess with the time zones, it got to you a bit late. Oh, it's super wobbly. I'm trying to. How can I? If it's too wobbly, you can just like hide the screen and just listen or something. I don't know. Crapo. Oh, that's a good idea. Hold on. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, so I'll put you guys back on the screen with Pecco. I'll try to do as auto suggestion because that's a good idea. It's so wobbly. Oh my gosh. Ça va bien? Tu prends toute la place, espèce de troll. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. Faut que je change de place, fille, ça marche pas. Non, je sais. Ah, je sais, tu veux pas, mais c'est ma chaise. C'est ma chaise.
Oh non, il y a l'autre qui m'a volé ma place en plus.
Oui, ça va vraiment mal. J'essaie. Bon. Hey, Saf! Hi! Also, Otto, brilliant idea. This should be like, not totally. Oh. Est-ce que t'arrêtes de te gratter, grosse épaisse? Pickle. Yeah, this should, it's attached to the next table, so it shouldn't wobble if I like, it's matcha. Well, latte, obviously. It's so light green. I try to not drink too much coffee, but I really need that kind of boost, so I was like, oh, maybe I can try matcha instead. It's a bit easier to, like on the stomach. Ooh, hot chocolate. Mm. feel like it's weird how taking off shoes before you enter a house or place is weird and considered an Asian thing. But my family did it so the carpet wouldn't get dirty. I don't know, over here it's not that weird. Like, I've always done that, and it's not because of, like, it was just, like, for the practice of not bringing in mud and like, earth from outside. The one that really, really I can't stand and that grosses me out endlessly is people who, first of all, walk indoors with their outdoor shoes and then hop on their beds with the shoes. Ugh. No, just ugh. Can you imagine all the sort of crap from outside that you put into your bed this way? Ugh. It's the same energy of people who have really, really long pants, and the back of the pants, like at the heel, sorry, it drags on the floor, and it gets all like shredded and dirty, and then they walk indoors with that like still like on the floor. Ugh. I know, right? To be fair, if it's my own house, I'll probably be a little leeway with wearing my shoes wherever, but if it's a stranger's house, I don't want to dirty their house with my shoes. Unless it's a hardwood floor, then I wouldn't worry too badly. Yeah, but maybe that's really also a consequence of like the kind of seasons where one lives. Like over here, like 75% of the time, your shoes or boots are gonna be full of crap. Like, you don't often have like nice dry shoes. So in that sense, maybe that's why it's a bit more common to just like not wear your outdoors shoes indoors. Like in the winter, you absolutely cannot do that. Like boots inside, are you like out of your mind? Can you imagine like the slush that would be everywhere? Blech. Like, I have a thing also with feet getting dirty, which is a part of why I don't want to wear sandals ever, because they make your feet like black, and it just ugh. I would have to like have the entrance to your home, and on the side of the entrance there's a small door, and you open it and there's like just a foot washing place to get rid of all the grime from outdoors. Hey, lab accident, hi. How are you? True, but we do get a fair amount of rain in Texas, and my dad is habitual about tracking in mud if it's... Oh, dang. I don't know, man. You live in a city and you see stuff on the sidewalks that really make you think twice about bringing in your shoes from outdoors. You're like, oh wait, some of that is somewhere on my shoes just on account of like probabilities and maths. I'm really bringing that inside. Nope. No, 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 no. Blech. Tu peux amener une autre chaise pour ta péco, hein? It's kind of cute. Stress and dealing with working too much again, but I got sleeping today. Oh, awesome! Yay! Oh! Oh! Intérêt, intérêt?
Non.
I do sadly have to go to work later, and we have a heat index of... Oh, oh, uh-oh. Ah, t'as réussi à relocaliser ton bâton?
Ça a marché, ouais. J'ai oublié de faire la litière.
Oh, whoops. Oh, geez, that's hot. Where are you at, lab accident? Gee, 41C. Ugh. It's only going to get worse around the time I have to drive. Ooh, I hope your car has AC. Oh, hot chocolate. I'm in Houston, Texas. Oh dear. Dang, that's hot. I'm not looking forward for the weather to reach that temperature over here. Ugh. Fairly dry for the area, so the humidity is only at 44% today. So what's your guys' take on heat being more tolerable when it's not super humid? Yeah, it's gonna be the feels like temperature. Ugh. I always feel like if it's super hot and super humid, it's really gross. Like, and sort of worse than if it's really hot and really dry. Dry heat is more manageable just in terms of how it feels, but you have to be more careful to stay hydrated. Yeah, but that's easy. That's easy. That's easy. Like, it's much easier to carry around a bottle of cold water in that situation, because on top of everything else, it doesn't get all sweaty. If it's super humid and hot and you take a, like, any kind of cold recipient outside, it gets, like, bleh. Bleh. Montreal is very humid, so we don't have the luxury of dry heat. Hey, Jellybean, hi! I only would go outside in summer here if I'm going somewhere or going swimming. Before the dry hair hit here and humidity was around 68, 70. That's fine. I'll take 65, 68, 70%. Like, we get 85, 90% when it's, like, at its least good. It's always super humid. Heat plus humidity. Blech. Poil de chat. Gotcha. We get humidity like that have mainly with waterfronts or ugh. What was the texture of the... It's weird. It's for now, I'm glad I only got one tube of that range, because I'm not sure it's really making for an effect that I enjoy, but the paints look gritty instead of, you know, smooth. Like there is texture paste in them. I wouldn't know about texture paste, but yeah, it looks a bit like super fine sand in the paint. This way. Oh, thank you, Jen. I think they work well together, but again, it's hard to say until like most of the background color is covered. But what I like of using a super contrastic background color is all the little spots where it shows through. I think it adds a lot of interest to the image. It's like visual texture. What are you working on today, Jen? I used to live in Lampasas, Texas. I don't miss the humid heat there. Do you get a lot of humid heat where you're now? Working on commissions. Oh, nice! I have another tiefling to them. Kind of struggling today. It's like my hand forgot. Ah, those are really crummy days. I keep putting paint there. Oh my gosh! When I lived in Iowa City, it was surprisingly hot, like over... Ugh, that's way too much. Actually, I'm supposed to avoid heat because it makes my fainting issues worse. Yeah. Fortunately, I can afford to move anywhere else. Yeah, you kind of have to stay where there's AC. Or at least shade. You know? And water. Not really. Like, Toronto feels kind of cool, humid today. Or it's less hot, but feels stickier. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, the stickiness. Ugh. Let's just chill indoors and bring frozen water bottle in the car with me. Yeah, that's a good idea. I remember the terrible days of living without AC for a year, then 2 years in a row after it broke again. No! Oh, okay, Otto. Give hugs to the gerbils for us, and hugs to you from us too. I stick it behind my shoulders so I don't overheat. That's a good idea. I wonder how people managed before AC was invented. Oh, my makeup is waterproof, otherwise the heat and humidity here just ruin it. Oh no. Everything I have or do is built around the heat here. Ugh. Does it get a bit more, like, cool-ish? Like, I don't think it gets cool, but is it less hot? Sometimes. Or if that's pretty much a constant. Finds like cotton clothing, drinking plenty of water, so yeah. The only thing that came about living with no AC was an addiction to bottled water. How? That's a really interesting question of what did they do? I suppose just suffered. Like, automatically I'm thinking it must have been less hot, but I mean, for sure there were places where it's super duper hot anyway. So really like eating glass. Ice. Ice in French is glace. So yeah, so really eating ice all the time or sweating a lot. I don't know. When it rains, it's the best. Only rain will save you. I don't know, around here when it rains, if there's no wind, it feels like a cold sauna. It's really gross. Like the cold clamminess and stickiness of it is just, it's ghastly. That is a vibrant orange. It is! We had to freeze water often throughout the day since insulation gave us 10 more degrees. Ugh. I put oranges in the fridge so I can have fresh orange. Oh, that's a good idea. Water with glass in English because it... Possibly. I still would much rather have hot air blowing at me than no air at all. like no air is just that stillness. It's terrible. At least if there's a bit of wind, even if it's hot wind, your perspiration has a purpose. If there is no wind and you're perspiring, it's just there's nothing to cool you off. You're just basically drying up. Ah, crap. Tu peux t'en occuper?
Allô?
Fatigué en deux? C'était quoi?
Bonjour, ici Rochelle.
Ah, c'est bon. A cool wind is the best, but I mean, I'll take any wind over no wind. Because I'm already sweaty, so... Hey, Nicole, hi. Ironically, my mom went to a car for ACLA during those times. It really has begun to bother me that Nestle owns all the water. Yeah, it's just stupid, the fact that you can... I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before, but I absolutely hate bottled water. Like, what's the next step? Bottled air, sorry. Ah! I wonder if it's not okay to drink tap water in the US. It's mostly okay, but in certain areas where companies effed up really, really bad and made the water like completely undrinkable, you kind of have to resort to bottled water. But it's stupid. Like, bottled water comes from the same place that tap water comes from. I hate it so much. Can you imagine how much less pollution there would be if no one had ever bottled water? Ah, it just bothers me so much. Actually, it certainly feels like it that the water company that I use sold to Nestle. Then the second company I use sold to Nestle. Yuck. They own water in some regions and don't leave any for the people there. That's the Nestle problem. Yep. To be fair, each has their own taste with... Yeah, definitely. Well, but R is high in lead and copper. See, a water filtering system sounds perfectly fine. Tap water in my area is literally yellow. Yeah, that's another issue, but I feel like bottled water is just a band-aid and brings so many more issues when possibly the proper solution would be to fix the pipes. Come on! Like, I see it here a lot. Like, people buy packs of bottled water, like huge packs of those, and I'm like the tap water here is fine. Get a freaking filter or something. Like, if you buy bottled water just for the sake of drinking bottled water and there's no crisis or no issue, it should cost like an arm and a leg. Yeah, so you want to be fancy and drink from a bottle when the tap water is perfectly okay to drink. Well, fine, it's $30 a bottle. This is cheap, and if the pipes work, the city won't replace its own pipes. Yeah, but I mean, that's the issue, right? Like, someone needs to kick the city's butt. Over here, tap water is public owned and heavily regulated, so it's good in taste and quality. That's great. Oops. It's just so wasteful. Yep, my job had to add extra filters on top of filters for the water to be able to use the taps at the restaurant now. All the private water attempts went really bad. That's good to hear. But yeah, I mean, fine. The solution should not be bottled water for any situation where the water is dodgy. Unless it's a crisis, like what happened in Flint, you know? I just hate that people see it as a solution. Not necessarily you guys in the chat, but like general people see it as a solution when it's actually a very big issue. Like, it's hardly ever on the citizens level to be able to incorporate changes that will make a big difference. It's mostly on like governments and corporation sides that they have the impact to like make a change that will be very efficient. Like, it's not, oh no, customers stop having plastic straws. Is it really what's gonna make the biggest difference? I mean, fine, paper straws are perfectly fine, but it's the fact that people consider the situation solved because people are using paper straws that just... Like, if you don't consume a minimum, you get charged a lot, so people would... What? Really? Oh, that was when they tried to private it. That's so stupid. If they fixed the yellow water issue over here, I would... Yeah, exactly. But like, that's not your problem to fix. It's, you know, anyway. Okay, in US restaurants will get tap water or bottled water then. I have no issue with tap water, although they prefer using filtered fridge water. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we have a big like jar in the fridge that it's not even filtered tap water, it's just tap water that sits in the fridge. So it's super cool and it has time to like evaporate a bit of the chlorine in it or whatever. I get so mad from these insane business ideas that are just to take money from people without offering. Yeah, it's such a like unbelievable business model. Yo. 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 C'est-tu Summer News qui a fait une vidéo sur l'eau récemment?
Oui.
Ouais, c'est ça, ok. Hey, Cyan, hi! Oh, really, Nicole? That's interesting, huh? So people can afford to drive. Jesus. Got a can of kimchi. A can? Is it all like pressurized? A bit like Surströmmen. If it's like pressurized like Surströmmen, you're better to open it, like to pierce it on the water, so it doesn't like pushes out the stream of kimchi juice. Also, tilting it so whatever air pocket is where you open it up is a good way to minimize the mess. Is that how you're supposed to open a Surströmming can? It's one of the ways. Like you tilt it so that there's a air pocket where you purse it. So it's the air that comes out and not the like fermented fish juice. And also opening it, like you just put the can covered in water when you purse it. Like the juice is kind of like hindered by the water. And then when it's stopped, like when it's depressurized, you can just take it out of the water and open it the rest of the way. That's a normal can. I would imagine they would pasteurize it to stop the fermentation. Maybe? I don't know. I don't think I've seen kimchi in cans. I think it's fermented in the can itself, unless you mean kimchi. I mean, yeah, not Surströmming. I've always seen Surströmming in cans, but kimchi not in cans. Well, that's done. fermented kimchi. Because anaerobic fermentation is bad. I don't want no botulism. We have a new Asian shop in the city with nice Korean products. Ooh, that's great. Yummy. It does not taste that bad, but the smell. Oh, yeah, have a nap, Mikey. That sounds like a good idea. Let's try something weird. So sorry, super quiet today, rough hard day, man. This pinky purpley color is gorgeous though. Aw, I'm so sorry you have a rough hard day. That was really sad. I'm doing this, I'm trying to approach this one with a Blackbeard inspired palette, so everything is like purple and dark. So, just out of curiosity, Jen, have you ever thought about picking up like purple and dark for reasons? Yeah, picking up like something like traditional, but art-wise, I mean, just for the sake of having something where you still art, so it's still that those neurons that are firing out, but there's enough of a difference with what you do usually that it might be able to like refuel you. Like you draw like really detailed, really like clean art. Well, every once in a while, just for fun, you take out a couple of paints and you paint like with your fingers, you know, or you just play with clay a bit, you know, just something to still be creative but different, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Oh, totally. Photography is like that for me. Cleaning up photos in Lightroom is helpful when I need something other than drawing to do. Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know you used Lightroom for that. But I love your photos, you know that already. Huh. Well, I'm glad you have something then, because it can be really hard when you have to draw all the time, like for work and then for hobby, to sort of stay inspired and motivated. That word. I use Lightroom for the majority of it, then I'll pull the photo into Photoshop to do tiny tweaks of it. Cool. I don't know if like I know for Jen, but if there's anyone else in the chat who does like art for a living and also art as a hobby, like how do you not just run out of juice? Just overwhelmed. I have so much to do, and days like this bring productivity to a screeching halt, and that freaks me out. Nasty snowball. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's the weird thing with like arting is that it's not predictable. you cannot always expect every day to go the same. So some days are going to be good and some days are going to be crummy. And there's not necessarily a reason for it, you know. It's a bit like showing up for work one day and there's a power outage and you sort of can't get anything done. Because you just can't. I think it's important to take breaks to get new energy and inspiration. Take them before you're burnt out. Yep, I agree. The thing is that it's not always possible to take breaks. Because you kind of need to do the work to get the check to pay for rent. You know? So what do you do then? Power outage, that's a really good way of putting it. It's visual, right? I'm a graphic designer, so I do a lot of brochures, billboards, direct mail stuff. Watercolor is my outlet. So yeah, that's a bit like the change of pace, but still keeping it like creative, but bringing in a new challenge because it's watercolor instead. So it can be really hard to figure out like what's the proper creative hobby, but once you've found it, it's so rewarding. I have same with coding. I do automation coding at work and code Unity in games on free time. I need to be super careful not to work. Yeah, exactly. I remember when there would be the occasional power outage at work when I worked like outside of home. And it would often be like, oh, well, we don't really know when the power will come back on, and like the estimates say that it's going to be quite late, so you guys can have the rest of the day off. And you're like, yeah, great, except that the subway also works with power, so if the power is out, I might not be able to go home yet, you know? It's overall just miserable. You're like, you're stuck there, can't do anything. My deadlines are hours, not days. It's really high turnover, so being able to spend hours on a loose floral is really relaxing. Also, not staring at a screen help, I agree. How was lunch, Jilbean? It was good. I had a mini pizza from the freezer. Ooh. Okay, whew. Sorry. So I choked on my tea, then I coughed, then I gave myself the hiccups while coughing, and then I, like, killed the hiccups with the ancestral family technique. Drinking is hard, okay? Oh, you guys are too kind. I'm okay, I just didn't want to have a big, like, coughing fit on mic. Oh, I do that too, Jelly Bean, often. Choke on my own saliva, any like water, any beverage, not even if, like, a particularly fancy one. Typing is hard too. Okay, that's done. Oh, that's not cute. Let's switch. Also, with getting older, there's always the risk of farting at the same time as you cough, so it might be preferable to mute the mic just just for safety, you know. I'm glad you guys all relate with choking on really, like, benign stuff, like spit and water. That's not great. I thought I had mixed this. Is this more like paint or still like super liquidy? Oh, that's a bit better. Look Michael says my husband and I like to try to make each other laugh when we drink so it comes out our nose. I always lose. Oh no! Oh, that's so... no, not a pleasant experience. Reminds me, I started coughing because the toothpaste saliva went down my pipe. Oh yeah, that's not... That one is like... If you have mint toothpaste, it can be a bit spicy, you know. Oh my god, that's evil. I love it. It's really evil. Mint is cold spicy. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I agree. The toothpaste I have is like super extra duper, like all the mint possible, and it's like if you put a bit too much and you brush your teeth and then you rinse your mouth with cold water, you're gonna feel it. My grandma choked on peppermint coffee once and said it burned. Yeah, I can believe that. Do you mean the sirens here? Hey, when you've been together 13 years, you gotta keep it light. Well, it's one good fun. No, that's perfectly fine. I mean, like, you both agreed that that's the joke, so it's fine. But it's just like, oh my gosh, it's so painful to have like water go out the nose. That I feel bad for you. Like if you say you lose a lot, like oh no, your poor nose. I wonder if this works or if it just looks black. I still have some of this here. I could maybe get this up there. Oh yeah, there's a firehouse. Wait, is that the word for it? I don't think so. Anyway. There's a spot with fire trucks not too far, so. Charcoal tea tree oil mist. Ooh, wow. I've always used lime mint toothpaste. They switched the flavor a bit recently and now it tastes so bad. Like mint and lemon. It used to be good. Oh no. I don't hate mint and lemon if it's cool. Oh yeah, fire station. I think that's the word I was sort of looking for but couldn't find. But if firehouse works. So yeah, there's one not too far from here, so... They always have like barbecues going on for the firemen in the summer. Fire trucks have a lower, more whiny sound in my opinion. It depends on the place. Oh, fire department. Ooh, station house. Dang. Well, all that. In French, it's called a caserne. My dad was a volunteer firefighter for 21 years. Whoa. Dang. So what's the difference exactly between a volunteer firefighter and a regular not volunteer firefighter? Ruka often starts to howl when you... It's the sound of his people. Oh, that's so cool, I'm accident. So volunteer departments are trained just as much. They're just volunteers from the community and aren't paid usually in areas that don't have the funding for a paid department. Oh, wow. Huh. Interesting. So like there's funds to pay, but not for enough firemen. Is that it? Dang, so you have to like be ready for that and train for that, but then also have a separate job. That's pretty hardcore. Hey, Lise! Hello! Laura! Are you with her at the moment? It's Pico's long lost sibling. My dad said he didn't want to be paid firefighter because he didn't want to be told he had to take money to save lives. They don't have the funds for the wages, but they usually have the funds for the trucks. Oh, okay. Okay. My dad was a chemical engineer. Jeez, wow. Also, sometimes really sparse lived areas getting fire department might take too long, so they have volunteers as first response. Oh, that's super interesting. No, I just got home. Oh, I hope you had a great ride home. I kind of see it, you know, the fact that we pay firefighters is just so that they can be ready. Like, I understand the need for both, possibly. I think, like, I don't personally see it as being paid to necessarily save lives, but it's being paid so you can focus on that and not have to worry about the rest of it. Does that make sense? In the sense that, like, it's like, okay, well, at least this way, like, your own family is, you know, is taken care of, if that makes sense. But yeah, incredible respect for either. My dad still keeps up his medical kit from when he was a first responder, actually. It's just not on the department anymore. Unless your city's content. Is your city constantly on fire? Like in places where there are like the big, like, forest fires, and that's like pretty hardcore, and you kind of need like as many people as you can. But I guess it has to be trained people, right? Yeah, my dad's just the type of person who doesn't like being paid to do things he wants to do for people. That's really cool. It was fine. My mom broke. Oh no! And only came back home from hospital last Saturday. Oh no! Laura was stressed out about the wheelchair, but she's happy it could be. Oh no! Oh no! I hope your mom recovers quickly. I really hope so. I don't know if you guys can hear me when I'm trying to read chat and speak at the same time. It's 2 weeks shift in my town. You get a walkie-talkie. If there's a call, you leave your main job to go to the fire. So for 2 weeks, you're on call 24. Oh, wow. That's super interesting. I would sometimes ears my dad's pager before he would, and would sprint across the house in the mornings. Dad, your pager! Oh my gosh. It will be 6 to 12 months for her and no chance of a fully functioning knee again? Oy oy oy. But she's taking it really well. It's rough though. Oh my god, how did she break it? Dang. I was in the car with my dad one time when we were at his main job and he got a call for a house fire. I sat in the car while he ran into the burning house. Dang. That started my healthy fear of fire. Oh my gosh. She was just really unfortunate. She got up to walk from a chair and her right foot was asleep, so the ankle sprained. And then she just landed freakish and oh no. Dang, that's another story to add to the list of like injuries that are disproportionate to the way they happened. If you know what I kind of mean. By the way, one of my best friends makes software and an app for most Danish fire departments. Oh, really? Huh. What does the software do? Well, I hope your mom recovers quickly, Lise. I tripped over a shoe and shattered a bone in my foot several years ago. That could also make the list. Yeah, definitely. Lab, they don't know right now. They're just hoping the donor marrow they use for glue was... Jesus. Whoa. Dang, that was an unfortunate fall, no kidding. Yikes. That's rough. Well, at least your mom has the best nurse in Laura, right? Her main function is to sit on one's lap and purr, which can be very therapeutic. Laura is a cat, by the way, if you guys don't know. Might be important to specify, you know. There's a person I know who had a kind of similar accident in terms of like super disproportionate outcome to something really like minor, but the person stepped down from the sidewalk and it was a bit higher than the person expected, so they landed weirdly and sort of fell forward, but now they were on the street kind of in an awkward position and they saw a car coming up, you know, that would have hit them. So they quickly like stepped back, but in doing so, they completely like messed up their ankle, like completely like kaput. So they had to have like many surgeries and iron rods in there. Maybe not iron, but you know, like metal rods and everything for something that is ultimately not, you know, a big accident, you know. Oh, it's brilliant. It shows specifically where the fire is and on which floor down to a few meters with live stream. Oh my gosh, what? Among other things, they know before arrival if they need backup. Wow. That sounds really clever and useful. Yep, the hip injury I had was in an awkward fall too. The doctors didn't believe me for years, completely out of proportion. It's I find it surprising every time. It's like you see someone with a really messed up like a cast or something, and like, oh no, what happened? And like, oh, I tripped and just fell down on the grass, and you're like, wait, hold on a second, what else happened? You know? No, that's it. I just fell in a really like stupid way, and yeah. My grandma has a bad knee, but that was from a car accident. Yeah, my grandma broke her knee too because that was a very long time ago, but she just like stubbed her toe in a piece of plywood that was on the floor in a mall, and she just fell on her knee, and that was enough and broke the knee. If I got my foot fixed, it's still shattered. It would require about 6 months of recovery and then more work. Yikes. So I don't bother. I just can't balance on my left foot. Whoa, that's really weird. But I'm glad it's not causing you like too much of an issue. Is it painful? Or is it just like awkward to try and balance on that foot? They also do stuff for ambulances. The guys who started the company are retired EMTs, and just knows what is actually needed, so the help is much love. That's really awesome. My dad had 3 surgeries on his left rotator cuff because of car accidents. Well, car accidents, they feel like serious. They feel like they will cause like issues. But you don't expect to like trip on a stair and end up with that level of damage, if I can say that. Oh, it would be great if the app could be brought over and used in more places. That sounds super duper helpful. It's the 5th metatarsal. Only hurts when I try and balance or we get weather fronts or wear bad shoes. It's connected to the pinky toe, so I can't spread the toe far enough to balance. Oh. I kind of struggle to balance on on one foot because my toes are silly. But it's still doable. It's just, it requires like much more muscles than just you kind of need to have like stronger abs and other like important muscles to stabilize everything rather than rely on spreading out the toes properly. Because basically if my big toe is huge, well, let's say it's standard. Thing is that all the other toes are miniature. So the big toes that like pokes out about half an inch or more, and all the other toes are particularly useless for balancing. Feet are stupid. Nice lesson to see. The pinky toes help you balance those, so it throws me off. And to compensate, I have to shift my foot to the point it causes strain. Ah, that's not great. Where would you guys move to if you could, like hypothetically? Would you stay where you are, or would you move somewhere else? Oh, thank you so much, Lise. I wasn't sure it was gonna work, but I think it works like even more than I had imagined. I was a bit worried that the darker colors for the backdrop would be too close to the main colors, but nope. Sorry, I had to sneeze. This is handy. This mute button on the mic is really handy. I would move to Lapland. Oh, that's further north, right, for you? Norway, Canada, or Washington State for me. That's interesting. Monteriggioni, Italy. Why? Why that specific location? I don't like the political atmosphere of Tennessee, but I love the mountains, so I'd go live near my mom in Knoxville. Ooh! This is nice because if you have money, you can have a huge lawn, and land is relatively cheap. Yeah, but what do you do with your lawn in Texas? Everywhere is being gentrified down here, yeah. If I avoid people, I can avoid the political atmosphere. I just want to be in an old walled city where there's good food, nice air, and sunshine and art. Oh, okay, okay. You had me at the walled city. I've never been there, but I've been to Saint-Malo in France, and it's pretty cool. Originally, I'd love to move north because I prefer the cold, but I hear New York smells You don't want to live in New York, I think. It's just miserable. And with global warming, I think this is good. Yeah, this is... I generally like it here. I'd probably stay in the Nordics at least. The Pacific Southwest and huge parts of Canada look great too. But I'll never move to the US, maybe Canada, if I had to leave the Nordics. Yeah, we're just speaking in hypotheticals, like... I'm just curious, like if you say I want to stay where I am, that's perfectly valid too. Basically, I want to move somewhere that's not hostile towards queer people and has nice weather. Yeah, I'm from there, but I would pick some smaller place, some small village maybe. Oh, that sounds really cool. Dominic, New York smells like trees. NYC smells like garbage. Just depends on where you go. I don't know why it cracks me up so much that the whole city smells like garbage. It's not funny, but probably cracks me up because it's terrible. Like, come on. Well, a front lawn can have nice flowers, but a backyard can have a shed. And if you fix it up, it can be a nice quiet spot. Okay, cool. I'd honestly just love to live closer to water. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Ginger, hey! Yeah, right on time for the finale. I think the finale is going to be to remove the tape from at least this one. If I could, I'd probably move with my dad to Spain. Whoa. He's trying to get a house out in the middle of nowhere. Wow. Dang. I like the color combo on the orange green so much. I'm glad. I will flatten these and eventually photo them and put them online so you can sort of see the colors a bit better, because the camera doesn't do the the best job of showcasing the colors. I think I can peel this one. Peel. And there we go. The best part, I agree. It's the part where you can finally see what it really looks like without all the visual clutter on the border. I think this one should have probably extended a couple of flower spots around here, but it's okay. Well, I doubt I'd have the money to live anywhere nice smelling. Well, the thing is that it's not cheap to move to New York City. It's super duper expensive. Oh no, Ginger, you're pro-brain. The Faroe Islands are really nasty about LGBTQ+ and some other things. It's beautiful and the weather would suit me well, but socially too old school. Iceland though. This actually inspired me to pour some dice. Orange and green looks so nice. Oh, I hope you will share photos of those when they're cured and ready. Okay, I'm glad you guys liked the paintings. I think they turned out good. Good. Yeah, I could add a few, but the thing is they wouldn't have the bright pink purple backdrop, so they wouldn't look the same. It'd be a bit weird. But I mean, it's still fine. Back in time for the ending. Yeah. So final thoughts on the new texture. I doubt you guys will be able to see. If I remember, I'll try to take photos to put on Discord or something. But I'm not completely sold on it yet. It's kind of rough. It's really like having a super fine sand in your paint. I don't think it's necessary on top of the rest, but I'll see. I'll use it a bit more, and then I'll be able to figure out where I stand about it. Like, I feel like one textured paint amidst the painting is not too odd, but I don't know how it would be if I had just textured paints. I don't think it's particularly handy in gouache, because I feel like the point of gouache is having a smooth finish. So I'm not sure. I feel like it's something more for acrylic, but this is acrylic gouache, so it's a weird in between. I don't know the history of the paint either. Like, perhaps there is some cultural significance to having the texture in there. I don't know. No, the sand doesn't come off. It's stuck in the acrylic. It's just a texture. That's a bit weird. These. Ah. What was the texture? It's in the Turner acrylic gouache from the Japanese range. It has like I think it's some sort of fibers in there, and it gives the paint sort of a grainy texture a bit. It's really like having super fine sand in your paint. So I'm not sure what I think of this yet, but I have a whole tube to figure it out, so otherwise I'll stick to the smooth paints. Alright, so if you guys have it's almost chalky grainy. I don't know, chalk is relatively smooth. It's the surface that's grainy, right? It's a bit like fine sandpaper, you know? Not the super duper fine one that looks completely smooth, but fine enough that you can touch it and it's not painful. Yeah, they're a bit weird. I have an irrational amount of spite towards Cyan's mother-in-law, and I'm just gonna come out and say it. Oh, me too. I'm in that club too. Like, she, with apologies, but she nasty. I assume they probably just did clay. No, clay is smooth. So it's not the same thing. When you put clay in gouache, the gouache is perfectly smooth, so it's not what is lending the texture. Yeah, she came for Ruka. She's snipped. I think we all hate Cyan mother-in-law. No one likes her for sure. She's such a nasty character. Oh man. Well, good luck with that, Cyan. Maybe she'll come over less often. Hopefully. Because I feel like if she comes over your place often, she'll just complain about how this and that is not to her liking. And you're like, I don't care. This is not your home. It dries chunky, but it's not the same thing. Like, it doesn't dry well. Gouache is not good at reactivating smoothly, but if you use it as it's intended, quote, straight from the tube, it's really, really smooth, and you get a nice, like, smooth finish with it. It's just not as good, or not good at all, at being left in a palette to dry. Depending on how thick you layer. Yeah, it doesn't layer well either. The thing is that it's smooth, but it makes this texture because it soaks up the water too quickly. So you end up with a really dry paint on your brush. Paint is scary. No, it's not. It's fine. It's fine. Alright guys, so I think that's it. I hope you have a great weekend and we will see each other next Saturday. Technically. Same place, same time. Otherwise on the Discord during the week. You guys are familiar with the drill, so yeah, thank you so much for being here. You can you can like this stream if you feel like it. That's much appreciated. And otherwise, I hope you have a great weekend and a great day. And see y'all guys next time. Bye. Can't sleep. Gouache will get me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gouache. Haha.